This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm joined over Zoom by Dad, fresh off his win last night at the Creative Clash. How you feeling? Must be happy.
I'm I'm happy. I'm feeling good. Uh, Doing that thing where I'm, thinking about all the flaws and errors where there was many. So I'm trying not to focus on it. But ultimately, the worst part is I lose my voice every time I do Creator Clash, and that's the hardest thing. So yeah, I hate losing my voice. It's annoying to speak and it hurts. So that's the worst I'm feeling. So I can't complain, I guess.
Well, if you go in a boxing fight and after the fight, the worst thing about yourself is you've hurt your voice, that's probably quite a positive outcome.
Yeah, not bad. I can't complain.
Yeah, not too bad.
So
Not too bad at all. Let's just go straight into it. I know we haven't got you long for here, so let's go straight into it. The entrance, you definitely kind of stole a show before the fight even happened with the entrance there. Was that the idea on the spot
thank
to
you.
sprint to the ring, or was that planned? Tell me about it.
That was planned. So I had like a whole test video I had made with my friend Bob. Bob's here, Big Bob. We got Bob, John, my coach, and kind of the gang from last year, where we're standing there with the towels and we're calm at first, like we're standing there walking slowly. We got the hoods on and all that, the towels on, and then when the music kicks in, that's when I bolt. And the second time it kicks in, I run for the last 60 seconds of like the intense music. Um, so yeah, that was always planned, and not everyone would. I thought they'd be a run and keep up. It'd be like hard for everyone to run as a unified group. So like you just run, we'll meet you in the ring and start like going crazy. So it was a planned thing, but it was going to be chaotic because that's kind of how everything is that I do. It's hard to plan. But when I got to the ring, I had thoughts like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to get in the ring fast. So it's like I might just dive over the ropes. I wasn't sure, but once I got to the stairs, I was like, well, guess I'm jumping over. In that second, I dove, got my hand twisted up in the ropes. And I was like, whatever. But like I do a lot of like physical comedy and pratfalls and stunts. So a lot of people backstage were like, oh, we thought you planned that because it was like a funny bit. And I was like, no, I wish I planned it, but I didn't because it was supposed to look like cool, you know. But it kind of looked like I just got stuck. But whatever, it was fine. I didn't really care. But that was the only bad part, I guess, of the entrance. But yeah, planned the intensity and it worked out all right.
Yeah, certainly did. The only thought I had when I saw you sprint into the ring, I watched it last night on TV, was the fact that you might need to conserve your energy for the fight, not want to waste it on a little
Mhm.
entrance. Did that run through your mind at
Yeah.
all?
No, because I knew AB was coming out next, and I'd have a minute to like regain myself. And I also was thinking during my sparring and my training, my coach and I we'll go 10 rounds or 8 2.5 minute rounds. So I'm going more than the fight. Granted, we're not throwing 100%, but I'm thinking, okay, like the run out in the beginning, dancing around, then it's just 5 2-minute rounds. I should be okay. But every night when you get there during the actual fight, it's things are more intense and you do get a little more tired. But I wasn't worried. At the end of that first round, I was ready to go again when I stood back up, and that's when I saw AB called it because he couldn't stand up or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay. But I was ready to go, and I was definitely gonna chill a little bit in the second round because I was matching his energy in the first one. Our plan wasn't to come out swinging like last year. But so I felt like I could have made it even with the run to answer the question. Sorry, I'm rambling. I always tend to go on. So
No, that's all right. That's all right. Every interviewer likes a good talker. But talk me through the fight, the game plan. Was it to kind of run at him the first kind of 30 seconds to a minute of the first round? What run me through the game plan for the fight, since the whole fight didn't really unfold
it
in the end.
it was a bit of a just kind of like a straightforward approach. As far as I can tell from like other what a lot of people do is just feel them out. Find your distance with the jab, just traditional kind of boxing stuff, and just like box each other as best as I could. I don't consider myself a great boxer by any means. I know my skill, but I was gonna try to just like kind of feel him out, get as many head to body as much as I could. But he came out hard, and then it charges you up, and I was like, oh, all right, we're gonna go, okay. So I'm ready to go if he wants to. So I'm thinking, if you're going to gas, I'm going to gas after you. I don't doubt I could gas out at some point, but it will definitely be after him because I know my cardio is better than him. So when he started throwing, I was like, all right, I'll throw with you if you want. And apparently my coach was like, no, chill, chill. And I couldn't hear my coach at all. He wanted me to calm down. But the original plan was to just kind of like, feel it out, see how he's doing, and then put the pressure on later. and not because my coach, my coach is more logical than me, and I think I can go all night, but he knows that's not true. So yeah, that wasn't the approach. But when he started throwing, I just matched him and figured, all right, this is what we're doing. But then when we sat down before the second round, my coach was like, all right, we're going slow, we're going easy, feel him out, feel him out. I was like, okay, okay, okay. And then it never happened. So
For
yeah,
Starkiller, for Starkiller,
yeah.
what was wrong with him in the corner there? Was
Yep.
he panic? Did he not want to fight anymore? It was an injury. Do you know?
It was an injury. He could. I don't know if he couldn't stand up or he just didn't want to. He got carried out for part of the way. I think when he got to the curtain, they put him on something and got him to the green room, the bet or whatever, his corner, the locker room. Um, and he was pretty out of it when I went back and saw him. They had ice all over him. He was laying there. I don't think there's like a fracture or anything. Oh, my phone overheating. Oh, can you see me?
Yeah, yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I'm unplugging the phone. I'm in a car. I'm about to drive to the WWE building and
Mhm.
shoot a little video of me, dad staring into the building and like looping, not leaving. So I'm in a car. In the car, I think the phone overheated from being plugged in. But yeah, I don't think he like broke anything bad or hurt anything like that bad. But I think it was just a case of like a super liver shot, and like knocking the wind out of him. Basically, like he couldn't breathe and uh, he couldn't have carried on as far as I know. But according to what he told me.
Okay, that's fair enough then. And then I guess you just mentioned now about you going to the WWE building now. In the post-fight interview, you covered the whole of the WWE. I didn't expect that. I don't think many people did. How come you didn't call out any boxers in particular?
Uh, because I personally, I love wrestling. I want to wrestle, and I've worked with WWE in the past. And what I said was very real. I have contracts from them. I was supposed to have 2 tryouts, and they keep not happening because like the person who's getting it for me, who works there in casting and talent, they recruiting, they get fired, or if they lose, they leave. Another person steps in, and then like I had half the wrestlers that work for them, and they're all trying to get me in to like do this because like the character stuff is what I do. I'm more of a performer than a boxer. I do love boxing. It's great, but I'd rather like use the opportunity to do more entertaining. Like my entrances, I love entrances. I love the character work. I love the over the top physicality and just trash talking like at the audience and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, that's really where I want to be. And this for me is my version. This YouTube boxing is my version of like being a wrestler. So I figured I'd take the opportunity and the connection with Logan Paul wrestling, Seth Rollins. I was like, use that as an opportunity to be like, well, Seth Rollins, why don't you fight a YouTuber that actually wins his fights, that whole kind of thing. But I then at the end, Nexpo, who I know who was there, and he and I talked about fighting last year. At the very end, I called him out just to get a little bit of both, try to get a
Hmm.
job and try to get a fight.
Trying to get the best of both worlds there. So I guess it is quite
Yes.
smart. But in our last interview, about 3 weeks before the fight, you said that if you win this fight, Mams Taylor told you you can fight Misfits. Have you spoken to Mams
Yeah.
at all?
I haven't talked to him yet. You're like the first person I've talked to. And I haven't even really been on the internet. I posted one thing on Instagram and went to bed, and now I'm talking to you. So I haven't looked at anything. I haven't seen anything. But yeah, I talked to him in the past. I talked to him when I was over there doing the KSI video. So yeah, that is an option. But the thing is, I don't want to like because I don't want to wait too long because I don't want people to like not care about me. Wherever I know you got to kind of keep going, strike while the iron's hot. But I'm trying to make a movie that that's like my passion. That's my dream. Is filming and acting. So I really want to make this feature film this year, and then so I think I want to take a break from boxing, and then Dad comes back. Make like sort of a comeback and do a third fight. But I want to get some stuff done before I do that.
Okay, so you're putting the boxing on hold.
I think so. Because otherwise, I'll never get this movie done. I'll just be boxing all the time. I'll probably get wrecked, physically through the training. I'm 42. I won't be able to shoot and film things if I got, too tired and beaten down. So I'm trying to like be logical and be like, do the things I really, really, truly love. And like my whole goal in life is to like act and perform. And this YouTube boxing is another way to do that. I don't know, I gotta say it again, like I don't think I'm a great boxer. I think I'm a showman and entertainer, and I can throw my hands enough for the character. I'm not trying to compete with any of the good YouTube boxers. I'd rather just have like the fun, entertaining fight, with someone who's at my level, and it is fair, and we don't know who's going to win. But I can't go in with half the people in this world. I'm aware of that. I feel like I look really good when I'm training, but then I watch the fight every time. It's like my hand is always down. My hand's always down. It's like I can't even remember to keep my hands up in the fight. So like I'm aware of how good I am and kind of like my value in this world. I think as a performer. So I just want to be smart about going into the next fight and who it's with.
Mm. Okay, I understand where you're coming from, but do you not think that with the boxing, there's a time limit there, and with the film, you can maybe do it after like 2 years' time after you've done your boxing career, and you can get paid good money on Misfits, and you can use that to fund your film.
Yeah, that is actually a thought. It's like, well, because I have to self-fund it, I have to do Kickstarter and like see if I can find investors and all that, and it's very expensive to make movies. So I thought, well, if I did a fight, it depends. I don't know what I'm worth. I don't know what they would offer. I don't know what any of these guys are getting paid, and any or like Kingpin or Misfits or any of this stuff. So if they could give me a really large check, like I don't think $100,000 is possible for someone like me, but like that's the kind of money I need to make this movie. So if someone said that, I'd be like, all right, yeah, sure, I'll do it. But I don't know. I don't know what the money's like. So maybe.
If I was managing you, Dad, I would say do a couple of fights with Misfits, get paid good money, or do 2 or 3 fights with Misfits in a space of like a year and a half or a year.
Mm,
Probably about a year and a half is accurate, and then use that money, and you'd have a bigger brand, bigger name, more sponsors. People will know you.
yep.
I mean, if you fire Misfits, and everyone knows you, and then after that, you can go into the film. So for boxing, there's a little bit of a time limit, but for a film,
Yeah.
you got years.
But well, unfortunately for me, this movie I've shot the first 22 minutes already were shot 4 years ago. And every year
Uh-huh.
it goes by, I don't look the same. So creatively, I have written in why I would look older if I do look visibly older. The first 22 minutes are on my Nathan YouTube channel. It's called Neutral, and I just need to film the other 60 minutes. So I do have some of it done, but because it's done, and I don't want to reshoot that first 22 minutes, it's like I have to go now. So there's a weird, unique situation for me. But what you're saying makes sense, and that would be kind of the way you should do it. I would, think. So I'll see if someone offers me something crazy. I'm not gonna be able to say no. So we'll see. I also just want to go home. I haven't been home in LA in like 3 months, so I gotta get home and just kind of think about things and let things settle and talk to people, see what's up. I will box again, that's for sure. I do love it, but I'm trying to be smart at 42 with how I approach all of this.
Mm. I spoke to
So,
Mams. I spoke to Mams on WhatsApp this morning, and I said I was interviewing you, and I was like, anything you want me to ask, Dad? And he's like, just say, make sure you say congratulations from me. So Mams does say
oh, that's
congratulations
nice.
on the good performance. Just one last
Thank you very
thing.
much.
So the fight with Greg Paul, that's put on hold for the time being, or maybe
Yeah.
his magic for Misfits.
So that I doubt Greg even knows about it, but I think it would be funny. I think it would be, people would watch because I've really made a little more of a name for myself. So maybe I'm more on his level because like a lot of people know him, but not a lot of people know me. So maybe if they're interested in that I would feel comfortable going into because I think he's a little bigger than me and I'm not great. So maybe it's an even match.
Mhm.
He's also older. I have a lot of cardio and energy, but I don't know. Maybe it evens out somehow. Maybe it's unfair because he is older than me. I don't really know. A professional would have to, a matchmaker would have to make that decision, I guess.
We'll see. We'll
So
see. Mams can work his magic. You never know.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah,
do appreciate you coming on the Zoom. I'll make sure to catch up with you, do another one of these in a few months' time. But I know you watch the channel as well, and I was very
yeah.
proud of you about your performance yesterday. So thank you. It must mean a lot.
Thank, thank you very much. It's nice to hear from you, the legend, the king of all of this world. So thank you.
I did tell you that I was gonna be there, but they weren't doing post-fight interviews. That wasn't allowed at the event, so I couldn't
Oh,
basically. Yeah.
yeah. They like to let everyone chill after because I think we get more messed up than a lot of the other people. So it's they probably just want everyone to like not talk afterwards.
Yeah, it's fair
They don't
enough.
want to.
It's fair
Yeah,
enough. I don't mind, but I do
yeah.
appreciate you coming on the Zoom. I will see you soon. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks again for having me.